Okay, so last week I did the whole healthcare thing and about how corrupt it is and how it takes forever to get appointments here and universal healthcare is easier and better and blah, 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 blah. Since that show, things have gotten a lot worse for me. So I went to a dermatologist, or really a plastic surgeon attached to an advanced dermatology office because of those fatty tumors I have on my body. They're most likely lipomas. They're benign growths. I've had them before. Not a big deal, right? They just are annoying, but I have a lot of them, and I don't know why. So the doctor walks in. Now, he looks and behaves just like Dr. House, except he's not particularly funny, and he's certainly not brilliant. But just the same, he was kind of a dick. And he did confirm that most of them on my body are just lipomas. That's all they are. Except one thing. On my forehead, that little bump I have, he says is an osteoma, a bone growth, not a cyst or lipoma. I said, well, wait a minute. If you're saying that that's an osteoma and not a lipoma, and I have all these other cysts and lesions on my body, I mean, does this mean I might have Gardner syndrome? That's a very rare but fatal disease. It's very serious. And he said, well, you might not, but I mean, you should go check it out. I said, wait, what? Wait a minute. I was hoping to come here and you confirm that I'm a hypochondriac. You know, that's what I wanted to happen. Or I should say a cyberchondriac. That's like the thing now because I have become one, like big time. Apparently a lot of people have, from what I understand. But anyway, so he tells me, and this guy was so dismissive. He was looking at his watch at one point. Like he just wanted to get out of the room, you know? So I said, okay, well, what do I do then? I mean, this is kind of making me nervous now. Do I have this deadly disease? He said, well, you probably don't, but let's just go check it out because you do have 2 of the 3 major markers for the syndrome. Now, Gardner syndrome is usually inherited from a parent, but it doesn't have to be. And it means that you'll basically get colon cancer and die by the time you're about 40, give or take. And I've got 2 of the 3 major symptoms for it. So I say, okay, so I leave there freaking out. So right away I say, okay, I'm going to do what he says. I'm going to call and make an appointment and get a colonoscopy. I also have a history of very strange, not to gross you out, but I get some severe pain sometimes up in the undercarriage there, and I don't know why. I always thought maybe it was because of my back surgeries years ago, which I've heard could be, or maybe it's stress or tension myositis syndrome. It's all psychologically based, and that's fine because I can deal with that. Yes, I'm neurotic. Yes, I've become a cyberchondriac. Yes, I go online and look up every fucking symptom wrong with me, whether it's a mole or a red tiny dot, which, you know, apparently people get them. And yet the moment you go on these websites, you find out you have cancer. We'll get to that in a minute. So the colonoscopy appointment, you know how they pretend that people don't want to get colonoscopies and they say, just get one. It's really easy. And they add with a commercial that says, in fact, I'm having one right now. That's bullshit. It's not so easy because you have to book a consultation appointment first. You can't just schedule a colonoscopy. You have to go in to meet with the Indian doctor first. I say Indian because they're always Indians. If I couldn't tell you how many times I've had an Indian stick his fist up my ass and probe me. But I don't want another puppet show. I just want to know for certain through the work of science and cameras what I actually have and what I don't. Let's skip the foreplay and just tell me what I've got. So here's what gets scary. Like I said last week, I had to wait 2 weeks just to get the consultation. There was no sooner appointment. Between my wife and I, we called like at least 15 different doctors, and this was the earliest I could get. We even kept calling every few days, and she does the phone calls at this point. She tells me to just shut the fuck up and sit home and just let her do it because I get very antsy with these people when when you're a guy, and you guys know this, especially as you get older, they don't know, these women that answer the phone, or guys, it doesn't matter, the doctors too, they don't give a shit about you. They're not as nice. They're very dismissive, and they say, right. But in this case, this was the earliest appointment, so I'm going Wednesday. Today's Monday. And now I have to sell this man my pitch, and hopefully he'll agree to do the colonoscopy that I need. That's the other thing, the arrogance of these doctors. This is how they get you. They want to make you a lifer. And if you think healthcare isn't a business, these doctors have serious overhead. They pay employees. They have a lease. They have equipment. They have all these things. They do. It's a business. It really is. Forget moral ethics and codes. They do the appointment. They schedule the consultation because that gets them paid. Then, if you can convince him to do what you want, you might get the colonoscopy after that, which guess what? It's going to take me another fucking week or two just to get that appointment. So I'm going to be sitting on this and stewing in it until then, thinking I'm dying. And then you'll get the fucking colonoscopy, which sucks. You'll wake up and hopefully he'll tell me that I look good down there, aside from maybe a fissure or a hemorrhoid or something. You look good. Or he's going to tell me you have 275 polyps. Because that's what now I've scared myself. Now I've got this now because of the markers, because of the symptoms, which are really odd, especially when you put them together. That's what made this scary. Nobody gets osteomas and cysts everywhere without having to be checked for Gardner's. That's just the way it is. Anyway, so then you'll do that. But now what happens is this guy might not want to do the colonoscopy. He might ask questions like, well, I'd like to do other things first. He'll do the puppet show. I don't want any more ifs, ands, or buts. Pardon the pun. Like, I just want to get the colonoscopy. And he might try to make me a lifer. Instead, he's going to go, well, I would like to start with this medication, maybe put you on this, and then I would like to test you for this. You know, maybe we should do that. Tell me about this or that. No. I don't want to come back again next week or the week after to follow up and talk about things. I want a colonoscopy. And the worst part, I already said the worst part, but the worst part, besides waiting in suspense for like a month of your life over one thing, the worst is that the reviews these guys have. You start reading reviews, you go, well, is this guy good at least? And he's got very mixed reviews. Some people say he's okay, even though they look suspicious, these positive reviews. And some people say he rushes you. He doesn't take his time with people. He's dismissive. He doesn't really care. He's condescending. And you'll have to wait 2 hours to see him, and then he'll give you 2 minutes of his time. He's one of those. And I don't care if he is not a nice person. I don't care. He's going to be more intimate with my ass than anybody ever will be. And I just want it done. Tell me that I'm fine. Let me go back to my crazy life that I was at least happy with. I don't want to worry about this. But that's what's going on here. So I'll keep updating you. Because, yeah, like my other doctor, he said, you should check this out. You should. You might not be dying of a fatal disease, but you do have two of the three major symptoms of it, so you definitely want to check it out. So that's what I'm doing right now. One thing I will tell you. Do not under any circumstances in your life, go on the internet. Not the internet, there's an R in there. Don't ever go online to diagnose what you've got. Because I'm serious, it is the worst thing a person can do, because these sites, whether they're WebMD, any medical site or forum or whoever it is, they will scare the shit out of you. Not just the doctors do it in person. These websites will make you think you've got cancer, you might have lymphoma, melanoma, you might have heart disease over a mosquito bite. Or a typical symptom. People have symptoms. It doesn't have to be fatal or serious. Everywhere you go online, I promise you, within a few websites, you will be scared and think that you have something deadly. And this is common. So just, if you take nothing out of what I'm saying today or my show at all, never diagnose your health or your car on the internet. Trust me. Remember this.